Thursday, April 4th, BYB returns to the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa, Florida for another hard-hitting night of bare-knuckle action in the patented Mighty Trigon. Cub Hawkins makes his first title defense of the Police Gazette World Diamond Belt when he faces Chad the Butcher Kelly for both the Police Gazette belt and the vacant BYB Cruiserweight title. Agnesa Kirakosian and Shelby Cannon face off for the inaugural BYB Super Flyweight title. Plus, explosive cruiserweights Yuli Monster Diaz and Zion Tomlinson battle in a title eliminator matchup. And former title contender Rashad Coulter goes toe-to-toe with Brazil's Levi Costa in a heavyweight showdown. Catch these and much more. Visit BYBExtreme.com for tickets and information.
Welcome to the Original Fighter's Voice. I'm your host, Don Mcguire. As you can see in front of me, I'm probably going to screw this up. Agnesa Kirakosian? Agnesa Kirakosian. Yeah, I'm close. Yeah. But first, welcome to the program. You know, it's like, I saw you fight in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and it was a tremendous opportunity for me to see what you brought to the bare knuckle, industry. And I got to tell you, what you brought that night against Jessica Link was nothing but tremendous work, ability. I kind of want to take you back to when you were a young child, and I watched a couple of your interviews, and you talked about being a troubled youth and trying to find your way. What was it about your youth that caused so much of a hindrance on your walk?
First of all, I want to say thank you for allowing me to be on your show. It's an opportunity. Thank you. So going back to childhood, I feel like I was always born like a fighter. Just stuff that happened during youth was like bullying. I went through a lot of bullying and just growing up in Armenia. In Armenia, over there, it's more okay to fight, in the streets. We played outside, all that stuff. And I would get into fights even as a little girl. I just remember when people would make fun of my name or something like that. I didn't know how to have any comebacks, so I would just attack. I would just fight until they separated us, as in teachers or parents or someone. I would always get into fights in Armenia. But when I moved to here, it was just different, a whole new place. I didn't speak a word of English except for some of the colors. But yeah, just I've had some bullying in 7th grade and all that, and then just having my dad. My dad was here for a while, for 6 years until we moved there. We all moved separately, so that was kind of hard too. But yeah, just growing up here was like everyone else. I feel like people go through bullying and stuff. I wasn't really I was just kind of quiet and minded my own business type of person. And so I just got kind of picked on at school and stuff. But I was never afraid of anyone. I always had that fight in me ever since I was a kid. And growing up with a brother that's a year and a half older than me, so we would always fight all the time, physically. So I mean, that probably helped to be a fighter.
What was that? Because you came from another country. I mean, I don't know exactly how old you were, but what was it like coming to the United States for you? Because culturally you came from a totally different place to the United States. How hard was that for you just to fit in?
It was really hard to leave my home, even though it's a third world country. I came from Armenia, I lived in Echmiadzin. So I just coming here was just, everything was changed because over there it was just I had all my friends, my grandma, grandpa, all my relatives were there. And then here I just came here with I didn't speak any English, and then I just went to school. I had to make new friends, and I was crying. I wanted to go back, but of course, our parents, they bring us here for an opportunity, and over here we can make something of ourselves instead of, you know, just like kind of like trying and never getting anywhere. But yeah, it was hard at first, but that's only the tip of the iceberg. So.
Yeah. You know, and I apologize for messing your name up. You know, I hear Goldberg say it, I hear Paulie say it, and I hear Claudia say it. Nobody says it the same. So I apologize on, you know, for doing that. You know, take me to that moment when you were walking across campus at Glendale Community College and you had discovered that they had a boxing club there. What was it? Was it the troubled youth or was it just the, you know, thought process of seeing it and wanting to have a different aspect in your life? What led you to the Glendale Boxing Community Club?
Mm-hmm. So in Glendale Community College, so it had a boxing club. So they kept sending me back and forth to change my classes or something. I was trying to fix something, and then every time they would send me from one room, they would say, "Go to this room." I was like, "I just came from there," and then they would send me back and forth, back and forth. And the guys at the club, like, they probably thought I was like looking at them, checking them out or something, you know, which I kind of was, but I was also looking at the boxing, and I always loved like mixed martial arts, like any type of combat sports or just boxing or working out. I thought that was cool. I had been a cross country and track runner before that. But yeah, I was just like kind of like intrigued because I was like, oh, what? Like it was an open court, like a basketball court, and they were just working out like hardcore. And they asked me, they were like, do you want to join? Because they probably thought I kept going back and forth. This girl keeps like looking. Um, and I was like, what is it, like a club or a class? And because I had like 5 classes already, and I was trying to figure out what I want to do. I wanted to go to art school. I just didn't know what I like. I wanted to finish my general education, go to college, this, that, you know. But yeah, so once they asked me that, when they said it's a club, I got excited. I was like, yeah, then I want to join for sure. And then the next day they said, come at 12. The next day, I was actually, the day before, I was like, oh my God, like I want to get some like wraps, you know. I was thinking of getting like pink wraps. The next day when I came, one of the guys, he came up to me and he was like, hey, I got these pink wraps in the mail. Like I ordered a black one. They sent me this. I'm like, do you want them? I was like, oh yeah, what? That's crazy. I was just thinking about that yesterday, you know. And I was like, oh my God, maybe it's meant to be, you know. And ever since like I first like threw my first punch, like I just knew that I wanted to go pro, and I wanted to like go, and I wanted to be the best, and I wanted to fight the best, because like I didn't do it like, oh, let me try. I don't know, I just wanted to do it and become something, you know, become the best that I can be. And I yeah, and sorry, I keep going.
Oh no, you keep going. I enjoy it because see, this is the fighter's voice. It's not my voice. So I think it's tremendous that you love sharing that experience. I want to take you to a moment that will even enlighten us even more because I like sharing the build up to where you are today.
Mhm.
Take me to your homie, your friend Casey. You know,
Oh yeah,
when
Casey,
he
yeah.
first talked to you about bare knuckle, and you said, are you crazy? You know, does this real people really pay you to fight with no gloves? You know, take me to that story.
Yeah, I remember we would train at different gyms, and we would just go spar everywhere. And then yeah, we were in the car, and he told me that they told him that he could do a bare knuckle fight, and they would give him like a certain amount of money. And then I was like, are you like, I seriously was like, I was shocked. I was like, no, don't do it. Like I was advising him not to do it. I was like, dude, that's not enough to pay your medical bills. Are you crazy? You know? But it's funny because now I'm a bare knuckle fighter.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it, you know, because you started out as a tremendous young boxer, and
Thank you.
now here you sit in bare knuckle. What was it in the heart, Agnesa, that
Mhm.
had you go from being a prominent young boxer to loving bare knuckle? I got to admit, I love your work in the Trigon, but what had you go from the squared ring to the Trigon?
Well, yeah. So for instance, my coach AJ, he was already in bare knuckle, and I think like when I first started training with him, it was also because of Casey too. But yeah, when I started first training with AJ, he was already into like bare knuckle, but I was just kind of like, no, I just want to do boxing. But when he told me about the opportunity to fight in Dubai, and then I was just thinking like it's kind of like we're like, yeah, we're the modern day gladiators, you know? Like I'm like that's pretty cool. Like I want to be like a warrior, you know, and I want to be like that, like a entertainer. I always like to entertain, but and I like to fight. And it's like without the gloves, I feel like yeah, it is. I guess I mean it's everything's dangerous. You know, in boxing you can get cut, you can get head trauma, you could lose an eye socket, you could break a nose, you know, or you lose your teeth in boxing and bare knuckle. And he kind of like convinced me that you know it's less damage, it's more superficial, and you get more hurt in boxing. And then he told me about it, like Dubai, fighting in Dubai, and then I was like, you know what? And the pay was better than like starting off like boxing, you know. And so I wanted to go. I wanted to go to Dubai, and I wanted to war. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna get to a few of these comments. Steve Schroeder says hi. And a good friend of mine from Tennessee, Jonathan Cole, says, great to be on tonight, Don. Always great to see the BYB Extreme Fighting Series growing. Thanks, Agnesa, for sharing your story. And then a brother of mine out of Canada, they call him Little Holmes, Paul Driscoll. He's a good friend of Larry Holmes. He says, hello, Don and Agnesa. And then my brother, all my brothers over there at the Fighting News said, let's go, champ. Yeah, that's a tremendous, tremendous group down there. I love those guys, Steve and all of them. John Grady says, greetings, Voice Nation. Thank you in advance for tonight's interview. I'm most excited. You know,
Thank you.
I'm truly excited to have you on because I want to go back to Dubai first. What was it like for you, Agnesa, to go to Dubai and to put on a show for the people over there and to represent BYB for the first time? What did that moment mean for you?
Mm. It was an amazing experience going to Dubai. Like 3 months before going to Dubai, I my appendix ruptured, and so I it was just weird because I was already professional, and I kept going like 3 months before that, like it ruptured. So I didn't know what was gonna happen because they had to do so much stuff like to me because they caught it kind of late. They couldn't just do surgery. They had to do more crazy stuff like put a tube down my nose and all that. But just going and like winning that battle, like coming back from that 3 months after that, coming back and then going to Dubai was like such an awesome experience. And before even going to Dubai, like I had already overcome the other thing, but I had sprained my ankle right like a week before. I sprained it on my birthday a week before going to Dubai, and like anyone else would have probably like pulled out of the car. They would have probably not gone to Dubai. I couldn't walk for 2 days, but like on Wednesday we were on the plane going, and I was just icing and praying and just trying to like, you know, rely on God because I couldn't really rely on my own strength because I didn't even know if my Achilles tendon was gonna like collapse or how it was gonna work in Dubai. So it was obviously it was awesome like going to Dubai and stuff, but it was also very stressful because I had that ankle, like it was crazy. But just going up there was an awesome experience. Like I finally felt like a real professional because it wasn't a small show. It was a big stadium. It was outside Dubai. I've never been to Dubai before. I was in Dubai. I was like, well, this is awesome, you know? Yeah, and it's like my first time going, like when I was like warming up, I'm just like freaking out because I was just like, I've never done this, you know? Like, but it's weird because okay, I'm a fighter, but it's like there's no glove, and I was just over there, and some of the guys on the that were fighting, you know, they were kind of like giving me advice and helping me out there, like, you know, you belong here. And I was like, yeah. But just like obviously everybody gets nerves, you know, beforehand, And just walking up to it, though, I felt good. I was feeling great. And then I saw Big Surge, and then he was like, "This is your time. This is your show. Let's go." And then I was like, "Yeah, let's go," And that's when it just felt good. And just like walking in the ring, and then just looking at my opponent's eyes, like right before, I was just like, "I'm about to like murder you," And then, but props to her, she was super strong. Like I was just knocking her down like so many times, and she just kept getting back up, right? I was like, oh my God, is this a Terminator or what? Like, but yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool though, because you know, for women to be in this sport is tremendous, in my opinion. I think, we have women in boxing, and I think the way that BYB does it is tremendous. I like the way they look after their fighters, and you rose very quickly, and it's like I love it because you go into Rock Hill, South Carolina, and you face a stable fighter, a young lady by the name of Jessica Link, and you put on a show, and you got fight of the night at BYB 21, and I was there, and to watch you in the Trigon, that's not somebody who was meant for glove boxing. That's somebody who was meant for bare knuckle. Take me through that thought process. As a woman in the sport, what was it like for you to, step in there in Dubai for the first time and get hit, and then get a better understanding of it, and then to walk into Rock Hill, South Carolina? Where was the mind and the heart, Agnesa? Where was the thought process? You already knew what it was like after your first bare knuckle fight. Well, take me to your second fight in Rock Hill. What was that camp like? How did you prepare? How was it on you mentally and physically?
Um, well, I would like to say it's like it gets easier, like after my first time, I'm experienced now. I know how to, or how it feels like, or, I mean, for me, it's like I feel like every fight is different, every opponent is different. And obviously, I respect everybody that steps into the Trigon. And it's kind of just a lot of mental, emotional, like, work, that it's a whole battle. Like you gotta, obviously, like I gotta win the war before I even win it. Like before I go in there, I have to win it in my mind. And I already knew I was gonna win. I already knew I was gonna win Dubai. I already know I was gonna beat Jessica, and I already know I'm gonna beat just Shelby. I already know. Like you have to like mentally like prepare yourself, and not in like a arrogant way, but like, just because you're putting in the work, because you're working every day, and you're preparing. And just it was crazy going in, because with her, like she was huge. I was like, whoa. But she was tall, and then I saw her knuckles, and like, dang, she was like man knuckles. I was like, they're huge, and she's a southpaw. So everybody tells me like that's like that fight. They're like, that's everything a fighter doesn't want: a southpaw that's tall and has a long reach, and like bare knuckle, bigger knuckles. I was like, of course it's like, everybody gets the nerves. Like, of course, I want to say like, oh yeah, I wasn't scared at all. But yeah, of course, everybody's afraid. Like the coward and the warrior, like winner, they're both scared. But you go in, and it was still in my heart, like I knew I was gonna like win that. And yeah, it was hard, but.
Well, before I get to these comments, I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna give everybody a little taste of what happened that night in Rock Hill. I think it's tremendous. It's just a short little clip, but it gives people basically an idea of what she does.
I think Kirakosian knows she has to at least win this round. I got her at least needing a knockdown, but at least it could be closer. He's at least win this round, and she's doing a good job so far in this round.
Big time. 1 minute. Now less on the clock. 45 seconds. Big shots landed by Spitfire.
Stop, break, back up.
That was just a short little snippet of what you brought to Rock Hill, but it gives you the idea of the size of Jessica Link, in the fight. She's game all the time. Every time I see her step in the Trigon, She's totally game. I'm going to get to some of these comments if you don't mind. There's a lot
Yeah,
of
go for
comments that I still got to get to. Whoa, more than I thought. There's a lot on here, to be quite honest with you. Jonathan Cole says, thank you for sharing your journey into combat sports, boxing, and now bare knuckle. Steve Schroeder says, bare knuckle, what is top pay? Bro, every fighter gets paid different. It's up to the promotion, the matchmaker, and the talent, and how many fights you've got in bare knuckle. It's basically the same way that it is in boxing. The more ability you have, the more fights you have, the more you get paid. My adopted grandfather, Artie Lamparella, says, hello all, love these broadcasts. Appreciate you, Gramps. You don't say it just because you love me. And then a friend of yours and mine, Mr. Nate Wren, says, my favorite BYB Extreme Fighting Series fighter on my favorite show. What does it mean for you, Agnesa, to have a boxer and photographer like Nate and other people that are jumping on here now? What does it mean to you to have them cling to you, follow your walk, appreciate your walk?
It means a lot, you know, just for them to even like believe in me and to support me, you know. It means everything. Like, just people, the fans are the big deal. Like, without the fans, there's no fights. And just having friends and close people who care about me, and that really helps me too, like supporting my journey and just like really believing in me.
Yeah. Chris J. Stymick says, 3 months after a major surgery. Wow, that's hard. How hard was
Thank
it
you.
for you? How hard was it for you? I mean, I've been through 253 surgeries, and
Wow. Sorry.
I got diabetes and a bunch of, I'm just an old goat, but you're a young, tremendous athlete. How hard is it for an athlete like yourself to push to that 3 month mark to get back into competing?
Well, if I can add another thing that happened, well, I went professional in boxing in 2020, end of 2021. So I had barely already just gone pro, like, no, wait, that was after. Sorry. No, in 2020, they found a giant tumor inside me. Like, I found out like really, really, really late. So it was like 3.5 pounds and like 7 inches long. And I didn't, yeah. So that was in 2020. 2020 was like the worst year for me. And like, I went through hell. But actually it took it because of boxing and for my love for boxing, like, and obviously my faith in God too, because of that too, like it helped me to, like get back, heal faster, and also being an athlete too, it helps your body heal faster. It actually took me 3 months after that big surgery to come back to start training for boxing. But then like the appendix rupture that happened, when that happened, that was even more like brutal than the first time, because you know, like the first time you're there, it's like, oh, whatever, first time, even though it was like a really big surgery and I couldn't walk, I couldn't, like, everything you use your abs for, and it's just like I don't even know how to explain it. Once I'm past something, it's like I'm really like past it. But yeah, it was just, it took for the appendix rupture, since it happened again, it's like when you go through something more than once, it's like, or it's a different thing, but it's like, oh, great, I'm in the hospital again. Like, come on, man. I'm trying to like box. I'm trying to win. What is this? What is this bullshit? But yeah, and then so it was but having that goal of like, oh, you know what? I'm trying to be world champion here. This isn't gonna stop me. This is just a little setback, even though, like, I mean, I know many people, like, they go through a lot of stuff, and I feel like the strong ones, they don't let that bother them, that they don't let it make them bitter. They make them that, or whatever happens to them. Everybody goes through something, but I feel like we have to use our struggles to make us better and to build character instead of become bitter and more angry, because guess what? Like, I feel like the same wind blows on us all. That's a Jim Rohn quote. But yeah, it's like, it's the set of the sail that determines your future, and like what happens to you doesn't really, like, yeah, it matters, but you can use it to your advantage. And guess what? I feel like if you watch the fight with Jessica Link, it's like, what like pulls me is what I've been through. I'm like, bro, I've been through worse. Like, I had a tube in my like in my nose all the way to my stomach for like 7 days. No food, no drink, anything. It was just, you know, yeah, sorry. But it's like, I feel like I've been through so much worse than like getting hit in the face, you know? So
Well, all
it's
that really has defined you. It really has defined you. And Jonathan says congratulations on the fight in Rock Hill. Hey, bro, you
thank
had
you.
to be there. That was just tremendous. Uh, Steve Schroeder says she's like my daughter. I got work her corner. I got to work her corner. These are some of my friends from the boxing world because I'm known in both realms. You know, your tenacity, your hard work has truly paid off because now, come April 4th, you get to fight for the inaugural super flyweight BYB title. How does that feel for a young fighter on her third fight in a bare knuckle promotion? You've proved to the matchmakers, to the CEO, Greg Bloom, to the owners, Dada 5000 and Mike Vasquez, you proved to the sport that you
Mhm.
deserve a title opportunity. How does this sit on your heart going into it with Shelby Boom Boom Cannon?
It feels great. I'm really thankful for BYB for just being in a great company, for them just taking care of us, the fighters, and just setting up all the right fights and giving us that chance to be a world champ, and be the BYB champion. It feels good, all the hard work, and I always dreamed of being a champion and getting that belt, and I just keep seeing it that it's going to happen, and I'm just so honored, and I feel really humbled to be in this position because of all this, like everything I've been through, and just the hard work of just training and trying to get better. And I still feel like there's so much room, for me to even be greater, to reach my potential. And it just feels good. It's like, wow, like it's kind of like um, it's it feels really great, but it's just like a kind of like a shock. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's hitting me here and there, but it's like once I get that belt, then I'm gonna be like, all right, okay,
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for you. See, one thing I like about your story is you came from another country. You came here. You didn't give in. You didn't give up. Even though you had obstacles in your life, you continue to rise. And a lot of people don't have the tenacity in them to do what you did. And then, if it wasn't for Casey or it wasn't for the Glendale Community College Boxing Club, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. But
Thank
it took you to make that step forward. Now look at you get this opportunity at becoming. Whoa, we lost her. That's the problem with Wi-Fi. She's in Vegas, and I'll tell you what, Vegas is the hardest place to interview, but it's a
oh,
live show, so we'll just keep it going. But you get that opportunity not only to prove to the world, but to prove to yourself now. That's got to be a pretty deep situation with you. To take me through that. How does that feel? Because you came from the sport, you came from nothing. You built yourself. You laid that stone, and you widened that path every step of the way. How does it feel now in the heart, looking over your shoulder, knowing that not only did you earn this opportunity, but you created this opportunity?
um, feels like just a lot of work and a lot of believing in myself, just like from GCC to, it's been a crazy journey. Like it's been crazy. Like um I went through a lot of stuff, a lot of different things because of it, and because of boxing. Like I feel like because of boxing and bare knuckle, like I don't think I would have been who I am. And just training since the beginning, just like throwing my first jab. And it's weird because like from the beginning I already like saw myself like, traveling and getting big fights. And it's funny that you say that. It's like now that you say that, that's when it's like actually like hitting me, because it's like I have so many goals. Like I'm not like, I always look like beyond it, if that makes sense. But you're right. Like, you know what? I need to like sit back and like really like take this in, you know, like I am about to fight for the championship, for the super flyweight, you know, like title, and that is a big deal. Like to me, it's like I always want like more and more, and I want to, you know, like it's like. But you're right, you know, it feels good to be here and to be like interviewing with you, you know, like all that whole journey of all the hard work and all the setbacks, so many setbacks that, you know, like I feel like a normal person would have like quit by now just because of other stuff too. But yeah, it's turned me into a better person, a more disciplined, more calmer. I finally found my calling, and that's what I was looking for since I was that lost person in GCC, that lost angry person in GCC. I was looking for a way to like, basically I used boxing to like get rid of like anger and just to help me focus, and to, it was like challenging too, you know, the challenge of boxing and bare knuckle. It just helped me to grow as a person and to do what I love.
Isn't it beautiful to earn something instead of have it handed to you?
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes we want it, like I just want stuff. I'm like, man, you know, I want this, I want that. But you're right, you know what? Like it's like a tree doesn't just like it's like just there. It needs to like grow, like it has to be put in the dirt under the ground for it to sprout and to like give fruit, you know. It takes time. It's like, but
So cool, man. I love it because you've proven yourself. You know, Mel Valenzuela, Mike Vasquez, Dada, Greg Bloom, all these people, they just don't hand out opportunities. So you earned it. You know, I want to ask you a question because I had Jamie Driver on my show, and I like asking women different questions because, you know, guys always get, you know, macho, oh, it didn't hurt me. And, you know, I think Jamie Driver was one of the truest of them all when I asked her. She said, you don't feel the pain when you're getting hit. But she said after the fight, she couldn't eat for 3 or 4 or 5 days. How hard is the collateral damage on you, Agnesa? You know, when you do have a fight like you did with Jessica Link at BYB 21.
well, okay. Well, at first, you know, yeah, she's right. You don't really feel it because the adrenaline when you're fighting. But I just remember like going to the bathroom after the fight and like just seeing my face, and I was just like, I think I was like cussing out the mirror or something. I don't know even know if there was people in the stall. I was like, what the, you know, what? Hell no. Like I was like yelling. I was like, I'm sure there's people in the back. I don't know. Shit. I was just like, I was freaking out. I was like, dude, I look ugly as shit. And I was like, great. Like I look like shit. Like, and I was like, bro. And then when I got out, and then my coach is like, these are war marks. These are like, you were in a war. Like, what do you expect? You know, I'm like, look at my face. And he's like, you did amazing. Look, are you sure? I was just because I don't know. It's like, oh, it's like it looked, it was more of we women, we want to obviously, hey, we want to look good, we want to look pretty, whatever, you know. And I had to, like, I was ugly for a whole week, and I had to like go out like that, and just people looking at you, they probably think I got beat up with whoever I'm with, or you know what I'm saying, like.
Yeah, but you got to wear that proudly, though. You got to wear that proudly. You can't be
Well, I do now.
superficial like
The
that.
scar is cool now. I like my scar now. I mean, it's cool now. It only took like a week for all of that to go away, and then just the stitches were just like a little itchy, and then just my hands were bad though. Like my hands were hurting. It took a while to have my hands come back to normal. I was kind of hitting her really hard. Like I think I hit like really hard. So I asked her, I don't know. Yeah.
You know, hold that thought. You know, my brother out of Canada, I have a lot of Canadian friends and people that watch my show. Brian Halderson says hello. And Gramps, I'm not sure what you mean by this comment. He says, that was Carrot Top. Wow. Gramps, redefine your question there, bro. Chris Shaggy Gonzalez, another BYB fighter, says, nice to see you again, Don. Nice to see you again, brother. He said, deep breaths, mama. Some difficulty living that stuff up. It makes you stronger. You're right. he's talking about, taking the punishment. It does make you, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And that's so cliche, but you look at Julio Tenori, I was there with him in Denver with his landmark, fight of the year with Mark Irwin. And I remember getting Mark, I was out back when Mark got on the ambulance, and then I had to get Julio a ride. And he said, Don, I don't know if I'm going to see you again. Let's take a picture. And his hands looked like sausages, he couldn't even close his hands. What is it in the heart of you, Agnesa, that brings that thrill, that excitement? Because Jamie Boom Boom Cannon is no joke, and I think this is a tremendous fight for you. I think this is a tremendous opportunity for you. So when you look at this up and coming fight on April 4th, what is the most present, heartfelt thing that you feel you need to bring April 4th? What is it inside of you that you need to bring out April 4th against Boom Boom Cannon?
Well, yeah, she is a good opponent. She has had she's been on a winning streak, a really good winning streak. She almost dropped what's her name? The girl she fought last, Oyo, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's fast. She's got fast hands. She's very like stocky. I think her first few punches are good. She's like a tough opponent. We both made it. We did the title eliminator and we both won. And now the best is gonna be fighting the best. And I obviously have to bring my A game. I have to be super sharp. I gotta be faster than usual. Like I have to just everything I've been through, I always bring it to the ring. Like all the stuff like in my life, like I've gone through like all the pain and everything like that. Like I bring it into the ring and I always give it my all. And I know that like I'm not of course I like to get paid, but I fight to win. That's what I fight for. I don't like I fight for that, like to be in the book that like Agnesa won, like in the books, the whole, you know what I mean? Yes.
I love that you said that you have to bring a part of you. See, you understand it. Young lady, I think you're going to be just fine in BYB and a bare knuckle fighter. A lot of people your age, they just don't get it. You have to put your soul, part of your soul, in everything you do. I have to do it with my show. I had to do it with my camera. Otherwise, a picture is just a picture. You have to put part of you into that fight. And you understand it. I don't know who your coach is, but whoever he is has done a hell of a job with you, because just getting a fighter to understand that you have to put part of your soul into each and every moment in your walk, that's what creates world champions. That's what creates tremendous fighters. And just hearing you say that made me appreciate your walk that much more, because it took me half my life to understand that. It took me losing a limb to understand that I had to put me into my work to make my work the greatest. And I think Nate Wren says it best. Agnesa Kirakosian is going to shock the world and win the BYB world title. I have to stay bilateral with that, but let's say I'm Shelby Boom Boom Cannon, and we're at the night of weigh-ins. What do you say to me? What are your thoughts?
Be ready for the fight of your life.
See, that's dope. I like that it's such a small statement that carries a lot of weight. That's so deep. I love that. To see you grow so fast in this industry, it's a blessing. It's a testament to you. I like when people find their path early. Jonathan Cole says, what a courageous young lady. Respect on your journey, Agnesa. And then Chris, he always comes out here and he always blows up the event. I think that's tremendous of you, brother. Great job on your last fight, by the way. Um, Jason Vega, brother mine, he says Agnesa's tougher than most dudes. Damn, great story. How does that make you feel, Agnesa, to hear people that don't even
Thank
know
you.
you, just hear your story and believe in you? How does that inspire you?
It feels good to hear like other people, to just encourage any kind of encouragement. Like everybody likes to be encouraged, and especially when it comes from a real place, it feels real good. Um, but yeah, just like I wanna show them even more like that they're right. I wanna prove them right, that they actually believe in me. So it's good. It helps.
It's so cool. I just love it. We're going to go to a commercial and we'll be right back.
Thursday, April 4th, BYB returns to the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa, Florida for another hard-hitting night of bare-knuckle action in the patented Mighty Trigon. Cub Hawkins makes his first title defense of the Police Gazette World Diamond Belt when he faces Chad the Butcher Kelly for both the Police Gazette belt and the vacant BYB Cruiserweight title. Agnesa Kirakosian and Shelby Cannon face off for the inaugural BYB Super Flyweight title. Plus, explosive cruiserweights Yuli Monster Diaz and Zion Tomlinson battle in a title eliminator matchup. And former title contender Rashad Coulter goes toe-to-toe with Brazil's Levi Costa in a heavyweight showdown. Catch these and much more. Visit BYBExtreme.com for tickets and information.
And we're back. I love seeing that commercial because your name's on it. It's got to be cool, man. I was on the other side of a camera. Take me. Well, let me get some of these comments. They just keep building up, and Chris J. Steinman says she definitely is gonna be a champ. Humble, confident, skills, and discipline.
Thank you.
Well, they see you wear your heart on your sleeve, and that's what I love about you. I love real, and these people are all from the sport, and they appreciate real, and that goes a lot farther than bullshit. And pardon my French, but it does, and I think that's why I love my show and the format is because I get to see this side of you, and I get to see what people think of you. Now, another BYB fighter, Brandon Mighty Mouse. I'm not even going to try your last name, bro, because I'll destroy it. He says, I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
Same.
He's on the same card as you. So it's going to be a cool deal. Steve Schroeder says, saw some of her fights. She's tough and blessed.
Thank you.
I got to ask you a question. I love you more in BYB, but do you miss boxing at all?
Yeah, I mean, I wanna go and box as well. I'm gonna do both. Like I'm not just one. I might do boxing as well. We'll see what everything goes. I'm not sure, but I wanna box also. Yeah, I miss boxing too. I mean, the only difference is that like there's no gloves. I just miss my hands not hurting after a fight.
They still hurt with the gloves. Come on.
Not as much as like bare hands. Yeah, and then you recover fast. I feel like you recover faster. Like you're just like, all right, like I just had a fight, okay. But like bare knuckle, I feel like it takes a little bit longer to heal up and recover, especially if you got like cuts or anything.
Yeah, but you know what? The way I look at it, I think you're going to end up the Police Gazette Diamond Belt champion if you keep on this path. I really believe that in you. I was so amazed because Jessica Link isn't an easy fighter, and you put on one hell of a show. And that, man, I mean, fight of the night, your second fight in, you put on one of the most dominating performances that I've seen in person from a woman, and I love it. I love what you bring. You know, my grandfather, he was talking about. He said that fight you showed, Agnesa, is not only beautiful but super tough.
Thank
And
you.
then he says Hawkins is a beast. You know, Brandon, it's crazy because he'll be on the show this week also. I I love every fighter from BYB. I want to stay down the middle because I love it just like that. Tommy Turner, all of them come on here and show each other love, and I think that's the most beautiful thing that BYB has done is they brought these guys to fight each other, but they also taught them to respect each other. Because, in my opinion, yeah, there is another promotion. There's actually 3 other promotions in bare knuckle, but if you really want a promotion that cares about you and is going to keep rotating you on the roster, it's BYB. You know, Mike Vasquez is probably, him and Dada are probably 2 of the truest promoters I've ever met in my 40-year walk in this sport. I've, I honestly just love the whole clan. I mean, what was it like for you to walk out and hear Mike Goldberg, Paulie Malignaggi, Claudia Trejos, Benny Ricardo, and others commentating your fight? I mean, that had to be a trip for you, right?
Oh yeah, it was insane. Wow, I was just honored because I was like, what is going on? It's kind of like a shocker, but it was awesome, especially afterwards, like listening to it, watching my fights, and just hearing all the compliments and all the criticism that they said. It's really like it really means a lot, and it's helping me as a fighter to be better. And yeah, it was awesome. Like they're awesome. So they're really good people as well. Like I got to actually hang out with them too. So it's personal.
The Trigon's a trip, right?
Yeah.
You
Really.
think it's this big thing, and then you stand in it and you go, "Holy crap!" What was it like? I like to ask her everybody for the first time when you come on. What was it like for you to step into the Trigon?
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was awesome, but it was also kind of weird, because I was used to in the beginning, I was used to the ring, but it's just like so small. There's nowhere to run. But I mean, for me, I feel like I made a lot of space in there, but like, because I was moving around a lot, but it feels different. It feels like, because you don't really like start you start right in the middle, like kind of like in the middle on the line.
Yeah.
So it was a little different. I was kind of like tripping out in the beginning, but then you get used to it, I think.
Yeah, I love your style though because you're aggressive, you're a pocket fighter, and with Link, I mean, like you said, it was almost like fighting a giant with arms just as big, but you brought it to her. You got her in the corner, you got her in the clinch. You didn't stray away. I love your style because it's aggressive, yet you protect yourself and you like to fight in the pocket where a lot of people don't understand. Pocket fighters, you better watch your chin because the way you throw is so precise. You don't throw looping hands like a lot of other fighters in the sport. And boxing blessed you with the ability to understand that. And so when I saw your fight in Rock Hill, I was just like, she's going to go far. And now you get this opportunity with Shelby BoomBoom Cannon. Dang, it's 80 degrees here, so the gnats are already out. But it's kind of crazy because it's usually, like I told you before we went live, because I'm transparent, it's usually like about maybe -10 right now, but it's 80 degrees, so it's a little weird for us. Yeah, well, I live in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Slick Rick Caruso from actually the other promotion, BKFC, he gave you 3 fists up. And Jonathan Cole says, I hope you will come back on the original Fighter's Way with Don Mcguire after you get that strap. Bro, that's a definite. I mean, I got to have her back on. He says, Don, this is my martial arts Hall of Fame ring, Steve. Let's not make this show about me, bro. Jeremiah Potts says, yo, too swift in the house. Do you understand that comment? Because I don't understand it.
I think he's talking about you. I don't know.
Well, either way, I appreciate it, Jeremiah Potts. And then Brandon Mighty Mouse Dozier, I believe, it says, hello, I'm not on the card, but I'll be in the building. You were on the last card, I think. I'm not sure, but appreciate you, brother. Uh, Jeremiah Potts says, Tampa, Florida. Brother, are you talking to me or her? Well, either way, I appreciate it. And Nate Wren says, there's no stopping Agnesa Kirakosian with all she's been through. The cannon might as well be confetti cannon. I'm not so confident. I'm so confident that Agnesa will walk away with a win from photography if she lost. Oh, he will walk away from photography if he loses.
Dang, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, right? You know what? Looking over your shoulder, your life has been tremendous. You've done a lot. And like I said, this opportunity is going to be so huge. It's going to be the greatest opportunity thus far, but not all the opportunities you're going to get in this sport because you have a tremendous future. You know, I looked at your career and I said, you know, you've only got one defeat and you've got many victories. So you know what it's like. You know what it's like to pick yourself up and persevere. You know what it's like to push forward. What will it mean come April 4th when they put that strap around your waist?
Oh, wow, it'll mean everything, you know. It'll be like it'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. It'll be like the topping on the cake, or it'll feel great. Like it'll feel like everything I worked for is just now like in my hands, that belt, you know. Um yeah, like I said, like it'll mean everything. Just winning that fight will mean everything. Like I just like it's just another win, you know. I need it, like, and then I just gotta keep winning and looking for like
Yeah.
the next opportunity, and just it'll 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 be good for me and my coach AJ Easley for putting all the time and effort into me, and then just BYB and just everybody that's been there and believing in me, and just to make my family proud, and my grandpa in Armenia who's like rooting for me, just for him to know that I won, you know, and just telling my dad, and I just it'll be everything.
You'll be in history. You'll
Yeah,
create
that's true.
you'll create history for your family. I I appreciate your walk because when I got into the sport 40 years ago, I walked away from six figures. And the only thing I could promise my wife was that I would put our family name in the history books.
Mm.
I did that in MMA, and this April I'm doing it in boxing. And I get to leave the sport the same path I came in on. You know, life is how you take it. And I love that you wear your heart, your feelings on your sleeve because you're a true individual, you know, and I know you appreciate this opportunity. So if we had to open up a book, and I love this euphemism because you can get a variety of answers, but if you had to open up a book, because this is theoretically the second walk of Agnesa Kirakosian, if you had to open up that book to the first page
Mhm.
and you look down and you see the lines, what would come from your heart in words into that second chapter on your walk?
Um, for me, um, everything's a stepping stone. So it might be I'm where I am where I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I was, you know, but I'm not where you know what I mean? That quote, like
Yeah.
basically just to keep going, keep rising, keep going further and further as much as I can, like never give up, never settle. Just there's so much out there, and I want to reach my full potential as a fighter. As much as that I'm fighting, I'm in it, I want to leave my legacy here. I want to be known as the best, as the greatest, whether it's bare knuckle or boxing. Like, I want my name to go down in history and women's history, just a fighter that never quit and always kept pushing through. Because I just feel like being a fighter is not just about fighting in the ring or in the trigon. It's about fighting just everyday battles and things that go through, fighting to be the person that you're called to be, and not like getting beat up or becoming bitter or anything because of what life throws at you. So I feel like that's who like Agnesa is. She's a real fighter in and out of the ring, and it's not just in the ring. It just shows in the ring. Like my old coach used to say that the ring is like a lie detector test. It shows you who you are. It shows you your character, like how much you're gonna take, how much are you gonna like, how much is it, like, when are you gonna give up? How much can you take? That's what it's about. Like, I don't feel like it's just in the ring. It's like you gotta have a big heart to fight like that. Like, you gotta put your heart in it, like you said, and in your work and anything that you do. If you don't put your heart in it, and there's no life, there's no soul.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. You see, I'll tell you a story that most people don't know, and I didn't realize we're already on here for 57 minutes. But when I lost part of my leg, several years back, I not only did I want to come, take the time off and learn to walk, because I didn't want to be a liability, and so I had to learn to walk so you couldn't tell I was missing a leg. And when I came back, it was different. I knew I had to, before I had just been going through the motions, but when I came back,
Mm-hmm.
it became part of me. Every picture I took, everything that I did, I put myself into it. And it created a walk for me that I could never duplicate, I could never repeat. But like I said, the reason I love what you're saying is because you get it. It took me 50 years to get it. What you understand right now about life, it took me 50 years to understand. You have to put yourself into something to appreciate it. You have to give yourself to understand it. You've already won half the battle. The rest of it is just showing up and shelling out, and I love what you say about your family, because in this world, in these crazy times, that's what we need to cling to. That's what we need to hold on to. Not going out to the bar on a Friday night and acting stupid with our friends, because you're better than that. You've proven that. Now you get to show the world on April 4th why Mike Vasquez, Dada, and the whole BYB family gave you that opportunity. What would you like to say to the BYB family, Mike, Dada, and all of them? Because there's no IRU and team, and we're all a team at BYB. What would you like to say to those individuals, because they believed in you enough to give you an opportunity, not only to create history, but build your legacy?
I would like to thank the BYB team for believing in me, for giving me this opportunity, for taking good care of me and just supporting me as giving me this opportunity to showcase who Spitfire is. And I want to make you guys proud, and I will. And I'm just very grateful. I'm very blessed to be here and just be a part of a really good team. They're like more like family. It's been a fun journey, and I'm super, super blessed. I'm thankful. So thank you, everybody.
That's so dope. You know, Chris Shaggy Gonzalez says, Agnesa, the humbleness you have and hearing your backstory is inspiring. I gotta agree with him. I mean, this is probably I've done thousands upon thousands of shows, but you get it. You truly get it, and that's dope because it takes a lot of people. You know, Steve Schroeder says, "Good luck, hands up, chin down," and then Brandon Mighty Mouse says, "Yes, I was on the last card. I went to war with Ward. Good luck for you, brother. I can't wait to see you on another card." Nate Wren, he says, Agnesa Kirakosian, and then he puts up the flag, the goat, and the fist. Um, you know, he said, Brandon Mighty Mouse says, the BYB family is amazing. You know, I just want to kind of end things on a high note. I love what you looked and you said about Shelby BoomBoom Cannon. Be prepared, be ready. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. I have to take my hat off to Mel Valenzuela. I don't usually do that very much, but I think we may have a potential another fight of the year on our hands between you and Shelby BoomBoom Cannon because I just love what you want to bring. I love the thought process that you have. You know, I am gonna do the man in the mirror question on you before I kind of wrap things up. You know, it's the end of the night. You know, you're the only one left in the gym. You're getting ready to walk out and you go to turn the lights off. And for that brief moment, Agnesa, you get a reflection into who you are and where you're at in life. What do you see?
I see a girl like who's persevered, who doesn't like take no for an answer, who will put in like, everything in the trigon, who will give it their all and with everything, with family, friends, and just in being, you know, like just loyal to them and just to myself and, you know, just putting in the work and not cutting shortcuts or anything like that. Just really digging deep and, you know, yeah, just praising myself for, you know, giving it my all every day in the gym and just in life, trying the best that I can be on a daily, you know, just be trying to be work on myself to be the best Agnesa that I can be. And I for me, like, I'm very critical of myself. So I kind of like see the flaws more than the good, but thank you for putting me on your show and everything. You know, it's helping me to, you know, like look at those good things instead of, you know, the world will tear us down, but, you know, we have to build ourselves up. So, and yeah, thank you for everybody that just gave me all the encouragements, and thank you guys for, you know, tuning in.
I love that you say that the world will tear us down, but we have to build ourselves up. You're all right in my book, kid. You're all right. You get it. You really do. And that was an honor and a privilege for me to have you on my show. You can come back on my show anytime you want. I seen what happened on TikTok. You deserve you deserve a better interview than that. I seen some clips of that interview, and I was just like, you know. But Jonathan Cole says, "What a great show tonight. Thanks, Agnesa, for sharing your journey and seeing the swift track to the strap match ahead. Solid young lady. Respect, my friend." And then I don't know what we call this guy, the Taco Kid or what, but Nate Wren says, Agnesa Kirakosian, are you going to give Coco a shout out when you win the world title?
Yes, sir. That's my cat. I'm gonna give Coco. Coco's been training me, you know. So I play with her. She knows how to box. So my cat, and she teaches, like, when I play with her, I actually think of like sometimes I'm like, oh, I trick her, and I'm like, oh, I can use that. I'm just kidding. But
That's funny. Young lady, go out there and show the world not only that you deserve to be here, that you deserve whatever comes in the future, and go out there and show the world why BYB believed in you enough to give you this opportunity. I believe you deserved it. I got to see you fight. I didn't correlate the names together until the one and only Mr. Don Povia, asked me to put you on the show, but I'm so glad he did. You're such a tremendous young lady. The humility is righteous. Keep growing, not only with these, but in here, and you're going to go very far, my friend. I'm going to pass the mic to you. If you have any friends, family, social media sites, or just anything else you'd like to add to the program, the floor is yours, my friend.
thank you so much for having me on the show. It was an awesome interview. I'm honored to be here. And Ren, he was Nate. You were right. You were right. He was right. He was telling me how your show is awesome and you're one of the best. So thank you. And thank you. Yeah, thank you to the fans who you guys are watching. I appreciate you guys so much. It really means a lot. Just like all the kind words and the encouragements that you guys give, and thank you. Yeah, and you guys keep pushing too. Thank you to everybody, like all my coaches, AJ, and then my family, just my brother, my mom, my dad, like my friends. They're always there, just like like thank you guys for just believing in me, and just even when I don't believe in myself, you guys are always there to remind me who I am. Thank you. And yeah, God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
Show the world, and I can't wait for April 4th. And do you, my friend, and I think you'll be just fine. With that being said, it was an honor and a privilege again for me to have you on the show. I can't wait to have you back on in the future. Show the world. I
Thank
think
you.
you will. Show the
Thank you.
world. God bless you, my
I
friend.
will. God bless you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh man, I was actually stoked for tonight's show because that young lady, Nate, you're right. I mean, tremendous young lady in heart. And I'll tell you what, April 4th, BYB, Tampa, Florida is going to be one hell of a fight card for BYB. They keep doing it, better and better every card. I got to hand it to the whole crew. They keep doing the incredible and the unthinkable. I'm going to run this one more time, and then we'll be right back, and we'll say our goodbye.
Thursday, April 4th, BYB returns to the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa, Florida for another hard-hitting night of bare-knuckle action in the patented Mighty Trigon. Cub Hawkins makes his first title defense of the Police Gazette World Diamond Belt when he faces Chad the Butcher Kelly for both the Police Gazette belt and the vacant BYB Cruiserweight title. Agnesa Kirakosian and Shelby Cannon face off for the inaugural BYB Super Flyweight title. Plus, explosive cruiserweights Yuli Monster Diaz and Zion Tomlinson battle in a title eliminator matchup. And former title contender Rashad Coulter goes toe-to-toe with Brazil's Levi Costa in a heavyweight showdown. Catch these and much more. Visit BYBExtreme.com for tickets and information.
I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to be doing a BYB show almost every day of this week, so buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride. We're probably going to get the whole card on this time. I'm not sure. It's up to Don Povia and Mel and Mike and Dot and everybody, but I'm loving this. If you appreciate the show, I don't pay for followers. I don't pay for advertisement. I feel if I can't bring it to you real and raw, then I shouldn't bring it to you at all. So if you could give it a share, I greatly would appreciate it. And you're right, Jonathan Cole, solid young lady. And like Steve Schroeder says, nice girl and very smart. It truly is. Brian Halderson says, looking forward to it, bro. I'm telling you, this. I, I didn't put two and two together. This girl can bang, bro. When I remember the fight in Rock Hill, but I didn't put the name together. And now that I did, man, I'll tell you what. April 4th is going to be one hell of a night for BYB, and the card just gets better each and every time, and it's like I go back to December 2nd when they had their fight of the year with Mark Irwin and Julio Tenori. But at this rate, at this pace, BYB is just continually bringing the heat, and I can't look for, in 2 weeks, I get to bring the one and only CEO, Greg Bloom, on, put him in the hot seat and see what he has to say for BYB in the year 2024, 2025. We'll see what's coming up. With that being said, Nate Wren says he thinks I won't put it up there. He says, Dandy Don, hey, bro, yeah, you did tell me, but you know what? The Dandy Don nickname came from James Lights Out Tony. So you could try to make fun of me, homie, but it doesn't hurt me. When one of the greatest heavyweights, well, he's a 5-weight world champion, when one of the greatest in boxing gives you a moniker like Dandy Don, you may not like it, but you accept it. He said, I knew you would put it up there. You damn skippy, bro. Hey, James is my boy. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good night, and God bless.